Hi, it's Sylvester. I just filmed this video and then it turned out that my microphone was not working. It was plugged in, but it wasn't like in the settings. It wasn't set to this microphone, so the sound was bad, so I have to make this video again. I want to point out that I have a pimple between my eyebrows. I always have acne, and I often get acne in that general region, and I always have to say that it is not a bindi, it is a pimple, so there's that. Now, I've had a couple people ask me here on YouTube about, for updates on the Neighbour situation, and so that's what this video is. This is just updating you on what's going on with that. I said that, like, in the last video, the one I just made, that where the audio wasn't working, I talked for almost 9 minutes straight, even though I thought that I had very little to update you on. So I'm gonna try to keep this video a little bit shorter than that, but basically, it's been rough. If you don't know what's going on, by the way, I got attacked by my neighbor, a guy who lives down the hall from me. He randomly attacked me one night, beat me up, and he seems to be going through some kind of psychotic episode, and that's really the whole story. I don't want to say that I've been living in fear ever since it happened, but I kind of have been. Like, I'm not trying to be dramatic and like, oh, poor me, but like, it was a pretty traumatic thing to have happened, and it was definitely unpleasant, and I would definitely not want it to happen again. And it's just stressful living in the same building as somebody who beat you up for no reason, so I've been doing my best to try to avoid him, but it is a pretty small building, and I still have managed to run into him several times since he beat me up, and he, for the most part, just ignores me, which is good. The first time I ran into him after he beat me up was the scariest, because I didn't know if he was going to try to beat me up again. I didn't know what was going to happen, but like I said, he seems to just ignore me for the most part, so that's good. I found out today through the grapevine, through gossip, that apparently he beat someone else up who lives in this building. I don't know who. I would like to know who, just because I'm kind of nosy and curious, but I don't know who. Word on the street is that he apparently beat someone else up in this building, so it's not just me. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I guess it's a bad thing that he's just going around beating up random people, but it makes it feel less targeted, I guess, knowing that it wasn't just me that this guy's attacking. So yeah. Again, it's just scary. I've been leaving my apartment less frequently just because I don't want to run into him. I've been scared that he's going to come like banging on my door and try to break into the apartment, or that he's going to do something. Like, I don't know, my mind always goes to the worst case scenario, and there's so many ways that a person can attack someone else, and like I don't even want to say any of it out loud because I don't want to accidentally talk it into reality, but like, my mind, obviously, I'm just thinking about all of the different ways this guy could potentially hurt me if he wanted to, and it's scary, and it's really triggering, because if you don't know, I used to experience psychosis. I used to hear voices, and seeing somebody go through something so similar to what I went through is really triggering. And I really, like, I know saying this is going to make it sound like I'm just such a good person. I'm not even, I don't even want revenge or anything. I'm just such a good person. And it's not that. It's not that I'm just such a good person. It's that I genuinely don't want revenge. I genuinely don't hate him. I genuinely don't, want bad things to happen to this guy. I want him to get help. I want things to get better for him. I want to help him. But there's really nothing I can do at this point, and it's very frustrating and very upsetting, and like I said, very triggering to see somebody go through something so similar to what I went through. And it's just like, I'm somebody who suffers with anger issues. So like a few years ago, if this had happened, I'd be so mad and I'd be like plotting my revenge, thinking about how I was gonna, kick his ass or something, like. And don't get me wrong, every once in a while I'll think about it and get a little bit angry, but I'm more angry about how like I have to kind of live in fear now. Like that's what pisses me off more than actually getting my ass beat. Like getting beaten up sucked. It wasn't fun. But what's worse is the aftermath where I'm scared to leave my own apartment because I don't want to run into this guy because I'm scared of him. Like that feeling like I'm a prisoner in my own apartment, like that kind of is the worst part, and that is really what pisses me off more than anything else. But for the most part, I'm not really angry. I just want to see things get better for this guy because it like I've been through psychosis and it sucks. It really, really, really sucks, and I just really want to see things get better for this guy. Now, I did have a theory for a second there that maybe he beat me up because I'm trans, because at one point because he talks to himself, and so like one time he was walking by my apartment and talking to himself, and I heard him say, "I don't care if it's a girl," or something like that, and my immediate thought was that he said that within earshot, like he said it close to my door so that I'd be able to hear him, like he wanted me to hear him say that, which maybe not, maybe I'm just making assumptions that are wrong, but it felt like he said that purposefully loudly outside my apartment so that I'd be able to hear him. And in my head, he was talking about me because I'm a trans man, and to some people that means that I'm secretly a girl, which obviously I'm not. I'm a man, but that's how some people see trans men. And so the fact that he said, "I don't care if it's a girl," like it sounded like he was like that was directed at me. But now that I've found out that he's apparently beaten somebody else up who lives in the building, it's probably not because I was trans. And like I don't even know how this guy would know that I was trans because, like I said, I've barely spoken to this guy. I don't know him very well at all. But people in this building talk, people in this building gossip, and so it is entirely possible that somebody told him that I'm trans and he just doesn't like that. And so maybe that's why he beat me up, but probably not. He probably just thinks that I'm like secretly an FBI agent or something, like who knows what's going on inside this guy's head. But when you're trans and you get beaten up for no reason, it's hard not to sometimes just be like, it's because I'm trans, you know what I mean? So yeah. Anyways, I think that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Stay frosty. Bye.